What's up? What's up? What's up, Facebook fam? It is Tuesday. And you know what goes down here on Tuesday? White chat goes down here on Tuesday. So do me a huge favor and make sure that you're hitting this share button and letting all my one sexy wives know that wife chat is going down here. And I just hope that you guys are having a great start to October. I mean, the time is flying, and thank you guys so much for joining me. I truly appreciate you. Make sure you're hitting the share button. Hey Johanna, hi beautiful lady, how are you? Welcome to October. Man, it's time is flying, and I was just saying that hopefully you're having a great start to October. Today I'm just telling you, I'm just being open and honest. Today I was thinking about canceling wife chat. I am like literally tired, and my kids have drove me crazy today. Literally, it's just like they have literally drove me nuts. Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me here on wife chat. um I was just saying, I hope you guys have a great start to your October. And yeah, yes, my good month, that's a good month for you, Johanna. I'm just telling you, let me just say, I am like super tired today, and I was gonna cancel wife chat because it's just been crazy at my house. My kids just, even though they're older, they acting like they done lost their mind or something. And then I'm gonna have to act like I done lost mine too. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Make sure that you're hitting the share button. Make sure that you chime in and let me know where you're listening from. I would love to know where you're listening from. Again, you guys, thank you so much for hopping on here. I truly appreciate you. And so I'm not going to be on here long today because, again, like I said, I'm tired, and the Lord knew that I needed to get on here and not kill my children. And so, and I'm just being open and honest. You know how you have one of those days where it's just something day after, I mean, something one right after the other. And one thing that just put me over the edge, and then I'll get to teaching, is my youngest one, who's 12. You know, everybody else was busy. You know, Gil's coming home from work. I was cooking. My oldest son, my youngest son, took my older niece to get her eyes checked because she needed some, to see if she needs some glasses. My oldest son was down in the basement, you know, because he's in college. He's in the military, but he's in college. And so everybody was busy. And then I finished cooking, and the little one gonna say, who's gonna clean up? Who's gonna clean up? Girl, she said, well, everybody goes, and I can't clean up by myself. Oh yes, you can. You're 12 years old and you know how to get it done. And I tell her, I don't care if it take you all night long, you will get it done. But it's like she didn't lost her mind, because I'm not gonna cook and clean. That ain't how it works around here. Hi Kelly, how are you? May God give you the strength that you need to handle them. Thank you so much, Kelly. He did give me the strength because he removed me so I could be on here, and she got the kitchen clean and everything's, but it's just one thing after another. You know how you just have one of them days, and I had some amazing clients earlier, but it was just back to back, back to back, back to back. And so it was just all this stuff. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for joining me here on Wife Chat. I truly appreciate you. Hey Kiki, hey Kiki, how are you? Amen to that. Yeah, amen. Because I had just vented to my sister Kiki before I got on here that I was gonna kill my children. But anyway, and y'all don't come for me because y'all all been there if you have kids. So anyway, so tonight on tonight's chat, on Saturday, I had the pleasure of speaking for an organization called Fit for the Journey, and it's an organization for wives. And I talked to them about how to rejuvenate intimacy back in their marriage. And from that talk, I have received so many questions and so many things. And so tonight, I want to talk to you guys about 5 morning habits to build intimacy in your marriage. And again, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Just put in the chat where you're joining me from. You know, are you in, you know, I know Kiki's in Atlanta. I know Johanna, you're in Philadelphia, I believe. But you guys just let me know where you're joining me from, because I just love to know that. And if you're listening to me on my YouTube channel, thank you guys so much for chiming in from YouTube. I know Kelly's listening to me from YouTube. But again, you guys, thank you. So 5 habits to build intimacy in the morning, right? And the thing is that so many people that I have been coaching and stuff, especially the women. Oh, Johanna, you're in Virginia Beach. I didn't know you was in Virginia Beach. I thought you was in Philadelphia. I'm sorry. But anyway, so many women that I've been coaching are feeling like having sex with their spouses is just becoming a huge chore for them. And they're like, Gail, it's so hard. And the reason why sex becomes so hard is because the stuff that's happening outside the bedroom is not being tended to, right? And I'm going to say this: you can have sex without intimacy, but when you have intimacy mixed with sex, it is amazing. And that's the way God created it. And so when Gil and I was struggling with intimacy, and intimacy has absolutely nothing to do with sex, right? And I want to make sure that we separate the two. Intimacy is allowing somebody in your personal space with no walls, with no filters, and it's pretty much being able just to get naked in front of them and be vulnerable, right? It's all about being vulnerable. And your spouse should be the person that you can be the most vulnerable with. Now, I understand that there's been hurt and all kind of different things, but you need to really, if you're still with them, you need to put a period behind that and move forward so you can really engage in intimacy, because that's where God wanted us to have intimacy, and then he wanted us to have amazing sex. And so these are some of the habits that Gil and I developed when we were struggling with intimacy. Now, let me just, I'm an honest person. We don't engage in these every single morning, but I would say 90% of the mornings we do. For the simple fact is that I never ever teach what I have not conquered. You won't ever hear me teach something that I have not conquered. For the simple fact is that application is what brought my marriage back to life. Application, not just talking about it, but being about it. And so habit number one is to kiss and hug your spouse every single morning. Kiss and hug your spouse every single morning. And I used to struggle with this. So I'm like, well, what if my breath is bad? And what if his breath is bad? Now, see, that's how I think, right? But at the end of the day, you don't know what that day is going to bring you or your spouse. And I have talked to some women who have lost their spouse, and their thing was, I wish I could have, right? I wish I could have done this or said this or whatever. So Gil and I make sure that we kiss each other and we hug each other every single morning. Even when I'm still asleep, I feel him still hugging me. But you guys know that 90% of the time I'm up anyway, because I'm up praying and interceding for marriages every single morning at 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we kiss and hug each other, because again, we never know if that's going to be the last kiss or the last hug. Even when we're not in a good space, even if we've had a big blowout, we make sure that we do that. Habit number two: we do something good for each other every single morning. We do something good. Something good. Like I will get up while he's, washing his face and brushing his teeth or whatever. And my husband loves to take fruit with him in the morning. So I will cut up his apple, or I would slice up his banana or whatever. For the simple fact is that small act of kindness allows him to know that I was thinking about him before. So that's one less step he has to do in the morning. And when it's cold, I'll make him some hot tea and put it in a thermos and send him on his way. For the simple fact is, again, it's something small, but it's big to him. And again, you guys, thank you so much for joining me here on Wife Chat. Just drop in the chat where you're listening from. I appreciate you guys. If you're listening from my YouTube channel, thank you so much for joining in. So do something nice every single day, because again, you don't know when or if something's going to happen to your spouse, and you don't want to have no regrets. Habit number three: say the magic words. Say the magic words. I love you. I appreciate you. Again, I have two girlfriends that have lost their spouse. And when I talked to one of them when they first lost their spouse, it's like, Gail, I didn't get a chance to say this. Even when we're not in a good space, I love you and I appreciate you. I love you because you're my spouse. I appreciate you because you're getting up every single day to make it happen. Even when your spouse is working in the same home, because some people are still, teleworking or whatever, go do the same exact things. Do the same exact things. I love you and I appreciate you. Because again, you don't know. And we take each other for granted so much. But let me just tell you, since I held Bring It Sexy back to the marriage in 2020, at the beginning of 2020 in January, I have known that 7 people have not made it just because of COVID. 7 women that came to my conference in 2020 are no longer here. And I know that we're talking about spouses, but what I'm saying is that we can't take people for granted. We can't take this life for granted. So I love you and I appreciate you. Even when you're not in a good space. Because again, you don't want to let your spouse go off to work with any regrets. With any regrets. And habit number 4, make your spouse smile. Say something to make them smile before they leave for work. Say something funny. Like this morning, I told Gail, I said, your butt looking real good in them pants. He said, what? I said, your butt looking real good in them pants. And he just smiled. He said, you're crazy, G. Go back to sleep, right? But again, make them smile. Because again, that might be the last time you see them. And the last thing you said to them was, I love you, I appreciate you. And they left with a smile on their face. What I'm telling you to do is not hard. What I'm telling you to do is worth it, because you're opening up the floodgates. Even if they don't reciprocate now, I'm a strong believer. What you sow, you shall reap. What you sow, you shall reap. And remember, I sowed a lot of bad seeds into my marriage, but now I'm reaping all the good ones because I sowed new seeds, better seeds, wiser seeds, right? So make sure that you do these things. Habit number 5, call your spouse throughout the day, especially to see if they made it to work, especially to make sure that they made it to work. It doesn't take you a long time to do that. It just takes you, hello, how we talk on the phone to everybody else. We on Facebook, we on IG, we on all these social medias. It doesn't take you but a few minutes to say, did you make it to work? Are you okay? And these are the things that I do every single day. Am I perfect? Absolutely. I might skip 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever. But when you really want to have intimacy in your marriage, you have to cultivate it. And when you look at the 5 love languages, all of these are acts of kindness. Even when you're not in a good space, even when your spouse does not reciprocate, do them anyway, because you won't have any regrets. And so let me go back over these again. Habit number 1, kiss and hug your spouse every morning. Habit number 2, do something for your spouse each morning. For me, it's either coffee, cutting up his, fruit, whatever that is, just something, an act of kindness every morning. Number 3, say the magic words, I love you and I appreciate you. Number 4, make your spouse smile. And number 5, call to make sure your spouse made it there safe. Because again, you don't want to have any regrets. And especially with my spouse, going all the way to DC, driving on 270. And y'all know, if y'all lived in this area or ever heard about it, it is crazy out there. So I have to send angels and God himself, on 270 to protect my husband. And so at the end of the day, I want to make sure that he gets back home, and I want to make sure that we can rinse and repeat. And I also want to make sure that we stay connected, not just sexually, but I want to stay spiritually connected to my husband. And so my prayer is that these habits, that you at least start implementing at least one or two of them as you begin to grow. And I'm telling you, it will literally change how you feel when you have sex at night. It really does. Because when you infuse intimacy into your marriage outside of the bedroom, it becomes magic inside, because you are connected more than just by body parts. You're connected spiritually, mentally, and physically. Okay. So again, thank you guys so much for getting on here. I really, truly appreciate you guys. I really, really do. If you have any questions, let me know. You can put them in the chat, but I want to tell you a couple of things that's going to go down. Starting on next Thursday, next Thursday, I have Wife Masterclass starting on here. We will be on here for 4 weeks. I will be teaching. I have the amazing Deidre that's coming to, Deidre Russo's coming to speak to you. And then I have a man by the name of Dr. Gfrim that's coming to talk to you about, give us a male's perspective, right, on looking at our marriage through a different lens. And so I'm really excited about Wife Masterclass, so look out for that. And also, if you have not registered for Bringing Sexy Back to the Marriage, Wives Leveling Up 2022, what are you waiting for? I'm telling you, I only have 70 spots left. It was 85. I only have 70 spots left, and they're going to go really quickly. I'm going to be having a meeting with my teachers and speakers next week, and they're going to start promoting it. And with their networks alone, it's going to sell out really quickly. And I'm not being funny. Like I said, if COVID pops off, or the state of Maryland or whatever closes down or whatever, I'm not going to keep your money. That's not who I am. But I want to make sure that you're in the house, because we're going to have an amazing time. So if you are thinking about it, whatever, go ahead and register, because you do not want to miss it. I had to narrow it down because I do want us to have social distancing, but I want us to have an amazing time. So go visit bsbconference.com, or you can go to my website, gailcrowder.com. The banner's right there. Click on it and go ahead and register. Do not delay, because I'm telling you, it's going to sell out, and I ain't going to be able to make no more space, create no more room for you, because you wanted to wait till the last minute. Okay. Again, if there's no questions for me, thank you guys so much for getting on here. I truly appreciate each and every last one of you guys. I love you to pieces. I will see you next week.